On matters of the economy, the public often holds the president accountable for the outcomes here. Does the president have a sense that he will be blamed by the American public if default actually occurs?
So Republicans are holding the entire economy hostage and saying unless their entire agenda gets done, they're going to cause an unprecedented default. What the president is doing is the opposite of that. He wants to make sure that we take that off the table and have a separate conversation on the budget, something that he put forth on March 9th, which shows how he values the way moving forward, to show how he sees our economy moving forward, building on the successes that he's had these last 2 years, making sure that we cut the deficit by $3 trillion for the next 10 years. So to your question, I have an answer to your question. Polling from 2011 and 2013 makes clear that congressional Republicans were to blame for their threats to default. And polling now shows Americans want spending and default handled separately, as does the president. That said, when it comes to threatening default, people should not be looking at polling. They should be looking at how they're going to be delivering for the American people. They should be looking at their constituents, whose jobs and retirements could be crushed by recession if this is truly going to move forward in the way that they seemingly want to go, which is manufacturing a crisis. So again, this is something that the president wants to avoid. He wants to make sure that this is not on the table, that we take default off the table, and that's a conversation that he's going to have very clearly with congressional members today, leaders today.
There have been other instances of brinksmanship on Capitol Hill with government shutdowns, and the public has seen that. They've seen 11th hour resolution to things. This is a very different beast in terms of the potential negative impact, as you've pointed out, never happened before. Do you think the public has a sense of what is at stake for them, their retirement accounts, their job security, the overall economy? And do you anticipate the president will have to speak out about this in a bigger way than the daily communication that he's done, or that you speaking on his behalf? Is there a speech to be had? Is there a moment coming?
So the president's going to go to New York. He's going to visit a district that he won in 2020. He's going to talk directly to constituents and clearly Americans in that district, and have a very clear conversation and lay this out very clearly, as he's done many times. I had mentioned the polling in 2011.
Nighttime is, I guess, where I was going with that.
I see. I mentioned.
Sorry, that wasn't clear. I know I was going to New York.
Yep. No, I totally understand. I mentioned the polling from 2011 and 2013, how congressional Republicans were blamed by the American people about what they tried to do in those two instances. And the president's going to continue to talk about this. Don't have a nighttime, primetime speech to lay out for you or to preview at this time. But look, let's see what happens at 4. Let's see how this conversation goes. We have been very clear. Secretary Yellen has been clear. The president has been clear. Many economists who work here in the administration has been clear. Businesses have been clear. This would be catastrophic, and it does not have to happen. It does not have to happen. This could be avoided. We have never, ever defaulted before. We cannot be a deadbeat nation. So we can avoid this. The president's going to make that very clear today.